And welcome to the stream, everyone, or the video if you're watching on YouTube, and if that all goes well, which I hope. So this is going to be the first game of this day of the qualifiers for the qualifier for the EU side of Season 3, and it is going to be Eloblade versus Smutaha Premedeaha. I have no idea how they want me to pronounce that, but there you go. And the bans are already out, and the first picks are coming out as well. These guys really know what they want to ban and pick. And on the left side, we're going to see Zara, Elise, and Kha'Zix. Elise and Kha'Zix very good top laners. Or Kha'Zix, you can play him mid, or, anywhere you want, and he just completely destroys people. And then Zara's a very, 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 very good support. On the other side, Lee Sin, pretty standard ban. Twisted Fate, just really hard to deal with. Ezreal is surprising, actually. Been a while since we saw Ezreal getting banned, but that works. And the first pick is going to be Olaf. Now that's a pretty common pick. Olaf is a very good top laner and a pretty good jungler as well. And in the team fights, he's just really hard to deal with because he just runs in and kills your carry, and there's not much you can do against that because he presses R, you can't see him. And then on the other side we have Xin Zhao and Evelyn, which are probably apparently it is buggy, but that's decent for a team comp. They're not going to play with it though. So that is probably going to be either a remake or we're just going to have to wait a bit. But on the other side was Xin Zhao and Evelyn. Now Xin Zhao is a very good jungler, it's sort of okay top laner as well, and Evelyn is just a beast in the mid lane. To give you an impression of how good she is, I am really bad at jungling, or at playing mid, really, really, really bad, and I still got a quadra kill with her. That's how easy she is. It is ridiculous. She can just roam around. She can do really well in the mid lane as well. It's just generally a very strong champion, and if you have to believe Skara, he said on the stream, if you don't ban Eve, you lose. Which wasn't solo queue, but still, Evelyn is ridiculously strong at the moment, especially with the new Deathfire Grasp. She can just 100 to 0 someone within about 2 seconds. So, I'm gonna just ban this guy in chat, and now we're gonna wait for the next two picks to come out, and hopefully they can actually pick this time, which they couldn't in the last time we tried to pick all this. So it looks like it might be Katarina. Katarina is a very good pick, and let's see what the other pick is going to be. Katarina does pretty much the same thing as Evelyn, where she's pretty good in lane and then can roam really well. And both of them are actually sort of assassins, but Katarina is a bit more destroy the entire team. And the biggest difference is that Evelyn has to go in and kill people, just bash them, and Katarina has to wait out so he is sure he can, or she, I should say, can get in and get the resets. The resets are the most important thing on Katarina. So we're gonna have to see how that is gonna play out. And I am Dutch, for the people that are wondering in chat. I also live in the Netherlands, because I didn't actually leave home yet. So the other pick is gonna be Katarina, or not Katarina, Caitlyn, obviously. Also starts with a K sound, even though it's a C, which is interesting. Anyway, Caitlyn doesn't necessarily make sense in their team comp yet, but it's a really long range champion, it's good in the lane, and I guess she can probably stay away from Evelyn, which is the idea of this champion, because she has so much range, she can stay really far in the back of her team. That's probably the reason why they're picking Caitlyn. And on the other side we have Graves and Lulu getting picked up. So Graves and Lulu don't necessarily fit a comp, but they're not really running a special composition like an area of effect composition or what have you. And we're gonna have to see how that plays out exactly. Lulu Graves is a pretty good lane where they can poke pretty well. And Lulu is actually a really useful champion as well in the team fighting stage, where she can make someone really big and slow around them and give them health, which is nice, especially when you have people like Xin Zhao and Evelyn who jump in. It's pretty good to be able to give them extra size, and I'm pretty sure. Okay, I can't actually. Don't quote me on this because I'm not 100% sure. But I'm pretty sure that if you make Evelyn bigger, it's easier for her to hit her hate spikes because she's bigger, so there's a bigger effective range. But don't quote me on that. I might be completely wrong. But in any case, on the other side we have Nunu and Shen. Nunu was very predictable because they have a Caitlyn. Caitlyn kind of needs Nunu late game to be viable damage-wise compared to the other 80 carries, and the last pick is going to be Shen, who is going to be going into the top lane. Arania going to be Aranaya, I never know. Ara going to be playing Olaf in the jungle. You can tell by the fact that he has Ghost and that they swapped. On the other side, we get an instant Malphite, which makes a lot of sense with the Lulu. He can jump in and knock everyone up, and they get another knock up from the Lulu ultimate. So it's going to be a very interesting game, most likely. And interestingly enough, okay, so Lord picked teleport, which makes a lot of sense because they have an Evelyn that's going to roam, so it's useful if you can teleport. You can teleport after the Evelyn. Something that makes less sense is the Malphite teleport. But on the other hand, I mean, it's a Shen Malphite lane. No one's going to die. That's just not going to happen. Let's just agree on that. It's not going to happen. No one's going to die unless there's like a really, really good gank. But even then, it's going to be hard to kill someone in the top lane. So he doesn't really need the Ignite. So he's going to pick Teleport, and then he can help with the map pressure. And the nice thing is that they have Evelyn, who is invisible. So Evelyn can run to bot lane and start to gank. Since Zhao can be there as well because he's the jungler, and then Malphite can be like teleport, and suddenly there's 5 people bot. That's hard to deal with. So they might be doing that. That's something to look out for. Now I would show you the runes and masteries, but the problem is that I'm sort of kind of not controlling the camera. So yeah, I'm not able to do that. But you know, I can talk about some more comp things. So what Eloblade is gonna do most likely is, well, almost most definitely, is gonna be that Aranea is gonna be running in together with Curb. They're gonna use that Shannon and Olaf to completely bash on the enemy carries. And what they're hoping to do is to have Nunu and Caitlyn a bit back and let Caitlyn abuse her range so that she doesn't actually have to dive in, but can still do a lot of damage to the enemy front line. And then the idea is that Lord jumps in, gets a kill, and then gets a pentakill. That's the general idea, because if Katarina gets reset, she completely destroys stuff. So that's a possible working of that team composition there. The problem is that the other side has pretty strong initiation themselves. So except for Aranea, Arani, I don't know. The Eloblade jungler, who is playing Olaf, who is CC immune, it's going to be pretty easy for SP to jump in and do damage, because they can put Malphite in the middle of the enemy team, and then there's a problem, because if there's a Malphite in the enemy in your own team, then you all get knocks up, and especially against Evelyn, that's a bit of a problem. And then Graves does a good amount of AoE damage as well. And then you've got another knockup from Lulu. And then you've got a single target knockup from Xin Zhao. It's a lot of damage and a lot of CC that they're going to have to deal with. It's going to be interesting to see how they do that. But that means that we are going to be going into the game in just a few seconds as the loading screen comes up. It's going to be about 15 seconds, as you can see on the timer. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this game goes. I'm looking forward to this one and the rest of the games. And we're gonna be going into the game right now, and it looks like there's gonna be another stream for me to add into the thingy, the Reddit thread, which is awesome and amazing, and I'm the best person in the world. No, just kidding, man. Let's see. Why do people have hard names to write down? It's really annoying, to be honest. No, I love these guys. So we're in the loading screen. Let's look at the swag wars. There's 3 honor on the side of Eloblade, no honor on the other side. So Eloblade seems to already be winning this. They've also got 1 person without a skin, and the other side has 3 people without a skin. So yeah, the swag wars definitely go to Eloblade. Good job, Eloblade. You've won the swag wars. This gives you absolutely nothing except for my recognition. So good job on that. Not for Claude Jester, but for Claude Jester is going to be streaming as well. And I hope you guys don't leave me, because QQ, I need attention. So yeah, save this one. And there we go. Oh, whoops. I shouldn't do that too much, because that might be slightly annoying. And I don't know what that black thing is. And that's probably Android having a weird thing. Okay, there we go. We're in the game. And I'm going to throw up this overlay that I made. And I hope it's correct. And it's correct. Woohoo! So, I should turn on this sound. Let's put it at an acceptable level. I have so much prep work. And it looks like they're not going to rearrange the scoreboard for us, which is unfortunate. But you can do it in your mind, I hope. So, both teams have bought their starting items. They're going to be running in. It looks like there might be an invade coming out from the SP team, which I still can't pronounce. Jari could be in a bit of trouble here. He's actually going to move past him, and this could be really problematic for him. And they are going to be going for him. He takes a lot of damage, but he's not quite down yet. There's going to be a flash. There's going to be another flash. He ignites on him. He's going to go very low, but is he going to survive? It looks like he might survive. Oh, but the slow comes out. He's probably dead. Another flash comes out, and an auto attack. What? It looks like he's surviving. Wow. Okay, Jari, good job. You just made them waste, let's see, 1, 2, 3 flashes and an ignite for absolutely nothing. And that's really well done. Good job, Jari. What he basically did is he used his biscuit and he ran away with Blood Bowl, and then GG. That was a very nice biscuit, I have to say. That was totally a biscuit, and I'm gonna turn down the sound a tiny bit more so that the announcer isn't rude and interrupts me. So, Vision Ward goes down at the Wraith Camp so that they can see what's going on. That's a really smart Vision Ward. Words, they're hard. So, it looks like Smutaha is going to be starting, and the Wraith's going to be down going for the red buff. As per usual, since Aaron and I are going to be starting at the blue buff of the enemy team. Because, you know, he likes counter jungling. As we've seen with SK when they picked up 3 buffs in the EU regionals, which was quite nice. Which is also why they're not in this qualifier, because they're already qualified. And this is the qualifier for the offline qualifier, which will qualify people for Season 3. Which everyone wants because they'll get a salary, which is quite nice. And as for the quality, guys, I'm not entirely sure why it's not in the it should be in the proper quality. So yeah, it's set on 1080p over here, and I'm streaming in 720p, so it should be in something like 720p. But yeah, if it's not working like that, I don't know. And there's no quality setting button because I'm not a partner, because I don't stream enough. So regardless, we're gonna be looking at this Graves, who is farming, which is nice. And yeah, if we look at the rest of the items, just really quickly, I'm trying to do comparison, but it's kind of hard because the scoreboard is not rearranged. Both the junglers started with Machete, which is, you know, pretty usual. We've got a rejuvenation bead on Kerp, so he's going to be starting with some health regen, which is a really nice idea, especially if you know that you're not going to be against someone who can, you know, kill you because it's Malphite. Looks like we might be having a gank in the middle, but the Rex's camera is derping. No, looks like the Avalan's going to be moving away. No, it looks like they're... I'm just looking at the minimap, and I'm waiting for this gank to go down. But Eloblade and RNA are now going to be going the Q hits, the reckless swing hits, but it's not going to be enough, and Eloblade going to actually take a bit of damage there. But they did more damage to Bachak than they took, so that was a decent one. And let's see. Someone else tabbed. That is noticeable. I'm not going to be doing that anymore when I stream. Anyway, so that kill is also not going to be going down. It's going to put some pressure on the map, and I should really tune on my stream. Or my Steam, not my stream. Don't worry, guys. It's okay. So, yeah, we've got the Smutaha, the Xinzao, going to be moving into the mid lane as well, as you can see on the minimap. Right now, alternate. Well, not alternate, but Matoax is going to be singing his bot lane. The Fruit is going to be walking into a trap, and we're going to be, you know, waiting up for things to happen. It's not a very aggressive game, which is mostly because Shen and Malphite in the top lane don't really do much, and then the Nunu Caitlyn lane is more a farm lane than a kill lane, so they're just going to relax as well. And same goes for Lulu Graves. It's more of a poking lane than that they actually like try to kill people, which is why they're not doing much. And it's direct to camera, so I can't actually point out things such as counter jungling and stuff. I'm not actually sure who got all the buffs. I know that Aranaya got the enemy blue buff and his own red buff. I'm not sure if he got his own blue buff, but I assume he did because he came from that side towards mid lane, so he probably got his own buff. Well, that, wait for it, and Kerp are just bashing each other because that's what Shen and Malphite do. They're not going to do damage to each other because Shen is too fast to die and the other guy is a rock. Actually, they are doing quite a bit of damage to each other, but it's kind of equal. So there's probably not going to be any all-in, I'm going to kill you things going on anytime soon. Wait for it, it's going to be going back to base. And I wonder if he has to wait for it, as in his items. Looks like he won't. He's going to buy a pair of boots and a Dorn's ring, so that he can have some extra mana regen, get some health out of there as well, a bit of AP, going to be doing a bit more damage to Kerp, and he actually teleported back into the lane so that he doesn't miss any CS. The lane was getting pushed, so he would have missed quite a bit if he hadn't teleported in. That's a good call there. It's not going to be teleport ulting in on anyone anytime soon anyway. That was a lot of Annies. But what I'm expecting to see is at least 3 pairs of home guard boots, and now RNI could be in a whole lot of trouble. He was spotted by a ward. They're going to be going in to jump on him, and the first blood goes to Bachak, and that gives him a blue buff, which he's going to be very happy with. Evelyn with blue buff is definitely not a bad thing, so that was really well done. And they finally spotted RNI in a ward, and they actually put down wards at both the blue entrances of the enemy team, so that they can see it coming if he comes into their jungle. That's a really smart warding there by SP, and that's going to make sure that RNA can you know, stop counter jungling them, which is, you know, quite annoying. So they all kind of want to stop that. In the bot lane, there's quite a bit of poke coming on, going on. Matoax doing pretty well at that, and right now there's a 500 gold difference. It's not a huge difference. It's just the first blood. So that actually means that the farming overall is quite equal, which is both good and bad for both teams. It's good that they're like staying equal. It's bad that they're not getting an advantage, obviously. But yeah, no one in a clear advantage at the moment, and that's gonna probably stay that way. These teams are pretty evenly matched, and we're gonna have to see how that goes. Right now, it's gonna be jungling. I love the rest of the camera, it's so horrible. And yeah, we're just gonna have to wait for some action to be going on. Interestingly enough, with that first blood, Bashek was actually able to go for hunting guys immediately. So he doesn't have any other items. Well, he has his flask and a few consumables, but he doesn't have any other items. He doesn't have boots or something like that, which he doesn't really need because he's got his W for speeding up. And it looks like he's going to be ganking in the bot lane. It's going to be a lane gank. If it's going to be successful, that's the question. It looks like he won't actually be going in for this. Let's see what's going on with that. And it looks like he backs off. So there's not going to be a gank because Metal Axe and Juria are going to be going back to base. While in the meantime, we can look at Kerp and wait for it, bashing each other. Because that's what they do, because we're Ninja and Rock. And I didn't mute that, sorry. So, in the meantime, Rapov getting picked up by Smutaha right now. It's going to be happy Xinzao with that, and in the meantime, Katarina going to be moving towards the top lane. But Pharrell ward was spotted by a ward right before it ran out. So, it's going to be okay for Mr. Wait for it. We're going to have to wait a bit longer for some action. In the meantime though, Sidestone was built on both the supports, so they're both going to be going for that early Sidestone, which is a very strong item. It's probably the best support item in the game at the moment because it just gives so much gold, and they're going to be going for Wait for it. There's finally going to be something happening in the top lane, or not, because Wait for it is going to ult away and then flash, and it's like, yeah, you can't really gank me. Which is exactly what I meant with there's going to have to be a very good gank for this to work out, because you know you have Malphite who can use his unstoppable force and then a flash to get out. You've got Kerp who can use his taunt and then a flash to come out, or well get out. So it's going to be really hard to gank that lane. So that's probably not going to happen either. What you can see happening right now is that Madalex and Juri are going to go for I was going to say the enemy golems, but it's their own golems. And right now, Bashek and Pharrell are going to be duking that. But Pharrell definitely in disadvantage. The flash after him with the hunting guys. And oh my god! What? Okay, so Bashek almost died. Pharrell was just not in time, and they were only just able to kill him before the Shen ultimate came out. That was literally 1 second. Before Shen would have come in and killed the Evelyn, but here comes Aaron, and he's not going to hit his axe. That's unfortunate. Would have been cool if he did that. But in the meantime, a dragon attempt is going to be made by SP. They didn't just kill the enemy mid laner, they saw the enemy jungler. They know where he is. There's no Shen ultimate up, and they have the teleport of Malphite up. So they can definitely go for this, but here comes the teleport in from Pharrell. He's going to be going for this. Here comes the Lulu ultimate to interrupt. Are they going to be able to get away? No, not 2 kills are going to be going towards Eloblade. Teleport came in from Malphite as well, which wasn't too useful. But on the other hand, it was a dragon for 2 kills, which is worth it gold-wise. So that's well done. And I'm getting really strange questions about Fluff. I don't really know what's going on, but in the meantime, Frontlord is going to be using his ultimate on towards, but Sack doesn't really do much. While in the meantime, bot tower goes down. So actually, in overall, that was a dragon for a tower and 2 kills. So a tower and 2 kills is definitely worth a dragon, especially because tower also gives map control. So I would actually say that Eloblade came out on top of that. That was actually pretty well done. And I have to link someone to this epic stream of awesome sauce. And I felt. So that's awesome. And we're gonna be looking at the rest of this game. So we've got a pickaxe coming out on Graves. He's gonna be going for most likely an Infinity Edge. Considering he's got a pickaxe, that's the most likely thing. Metal Axe has the BF sword and the pickaxe. He's definitely going for that Infinity Edge, and now they're pushing in the mid lane. Which is another nice thing about Caitlyn, especially with the Blood Bowl, is that it's really easy to push towers because you have such long range. You almost outrange the tower, and wow, Sifrut going very low as the Raxus camera goes to top lane, thanks to that Caitlyn ultimate. And they're going to keep pushing this mid lane. They've got a vision ward there so that I can see Evelyn coming. That's a really smart play. And the Graves damage coming out to clear the wave, but it's not going to be enough, and the tower is going to be going down. So that's 2-0 in towers, and Eloblade is definitely ahead in the map control. They're also a bit ahead in gold. They're 1k ahead, which is a very respectable advantage at 30 minutes. And wait for it, going to be going into that tower, but it's going to get salted, which means that he is going to be having to attack. And there comes the ultimate from Evelyn. Forello's going to jump in though, is going to get his ultimate off and get a kill out of it. And immediately ease away. Really well played there. Shampooed right out as soon as he got the reset. That was very well played by Forello, and nets another kill. But Jack is going to be coming in for a possible rematch. Nope, he's not going to hit his ultimate. It's not going to happen. And there goes the Kane, which is going to be slice support instead of pole dance about. So right now, SP is going to be pushing towards that bot lane. They want to return the favor and take an enemy tower. But are they going to be able to do it? There's a Caitlyn there. Has decent wave clear. I don't think they will be able to dive because the Evelyn ultimate is down. And here goes their eye as well, so it's going to be a 3v3. They're not going to be going for this. This is way too risky for SP. And they're going to be moving away. They might go for it later on. But for now, they're going to be 1.5k behind. Which, again, is a pretty respectable advantage at this point of the game. And we can see how Smutaha kills minions, which is nice. I love that Raxus camera. It's the best thing ever. So sorry that my voice is a bit screwed up. I woke up about an hour and a half ago, but I think it's alright. So for items, we've got the first ones coming out. Hey, somewhere in there, the streamer actually changed the scoreboard. That's very nice of him. So we've got the taunt coming out on Smutaha, gets Crep or Kerp right out of tower range. He was in it at first, but he got just about out of it before his stun got interrupted by the knock-up. Anyway, for the items we have Sunfire Cape on Kerp, which makes a lot of sense on Shen. Make sure he can split push. The health gives him damage. He gets armor out of it as well. He's going to go for another giant spell, so he definitely wants to get that health. It does give him a lot of damage. And on the other side we have Glacial Shroud on Wait For It. So he's probably going to be going for either an Iceborne Gauntlet or a Frozen Heart, which both make a lot of sense on him. Iceborne Gauntlet maybe a bit less so, but he does get in range for it. And the extra slow would help, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for that. Considering he already has attack speed slow on his E. But, you know, on the other hand, he might just go for both and be like, sup, now you have no attack speed instead of half attack speed. You know, that could happen. And in the meantime, there's going to be a ton of which and he's going to be getting quite a bit of damage from Kerp. Not going to be doing so much damage in return because of the armor and the health that Kerp has. Kerp is going to keep going for this, but now he's going to have to move away. The smoke screen a bit too strong, and he knows that Bachek is coming in as well. That SS was surely called.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
In the meantime, though, Madalax, Jari, and RNA to pick up the top tower. The teleport comes in, though. Are they going to be able to go for this? Forello is here. He's going to be going for the enemy Graves, but he's not going to be doing enough damage. The Lulu ultimate a bit too strong, but he's going to be able to pick up a check. No, he's not going to be able to pick up a check. That was a great shield coming out from the Lulu. Right now, they're actually going to be going for Smutaha, but here comes the unstoppable force, and Jari could be in a whole lot of trouble. He's going to flash away. Smutaha's going to jump in. He's going to not be going down. Actually, he is, because Aranai hits his spear. But wait for it, going to return the kill, and that's going to be 4 deaths for Eloblade within a minute. That's a very painful exchange there. They lose their bot tower. They might be losing another one, and that could be a whole lot of trouble, because bot tower, especially the inner tower and the inhibitor tower, gives a lot of map control around the Baron fights. The minion is going to be going down though, and they're going to be running into the tower now, walking away, which looked cool. But yeah, a tower was picked up by Eloblade, so it's a tower for a tower, and then 4 deaths for 1 kill. That's not worth it for them. But on the other hand, they did get, I mean, they got a tower. That's pretty nice, I guess. But yeah, I wouldn't say it was really worth it. I mean, tower for tower, and then going 1 to 4 in kills. That's not very nice. The thing is, because they already have 2 other towers, that gives them a bit more map control, and that makes sure that all the enemy outer towers are done. So that means that they can push out all the lanes instead of just one. And that was a weird element from Eloblade, who doesn't have a teleport on. So this is going to be a proper 4 versus 4 in the bot lane. Actually, no, because Wait For It has a legend. Wait for it. Dairy teleport. I just wanted to do a joke because I've been watching How I Met Your Mother, and the dragon's going to get picked up by SP. That gives them a bit more of a gold. Well, I guess it gives them a gold advantage. They were kind of equal in gold. They're now a tiny bit ahead, like 400 gold, which is not a huge deal. So it's still pretty evenly matched between the two teams. Either team could definitely take this at this point. It's 19 minutes into the game. The only thing that I will give an advantage is the towers. Eloblade does have that one extra tower down on the enemy team. So that gives them a tiny bit extra map control, and make sure that that they're gonna get. Well, with the map control, what they can do is they can move about, which is very, very useful and very important in League of Legends. Because if you make sure that you have vision everywhere and you deny as much vision as possible from the enemy team, and then you have the map control because the minions are pushing in, you can move freely between lanes without running the risk of getting caught. And getting caught is still the #1 cause for comebacks ever. Because if your team keeps getting caught, you can't really win the game because you're never going to be 5. Obviously these are good teams that shouldn't happen, but map control definitely does help, and it can help you get catches onto one's enemy team players, as Smutaha goes very low. We'll be going down to that ultimate from Caitlyn. Great play there from Eloblade. In the meantime, for Renlord chasing away. Wait for it, but wait for it. Going to be walking away. Actually, it's going to be a shampoo towards a ward. Is it going to be another unstoppable force comes out? And here goes the Shadow Dome as well. He gets the kill, but he goes down in return. Vashak going to be picking up that kill. Then again, he did move 2 people towards the top lane, which means that his team will be in a 4 versus 3 situation in theory. And because Xinzao was already down, it's actually a 4v2 if Mr. Curb comes in. But they're not going to be able to push that much because there is a decent defense coming out from Krikisik, I guess, and Tsivrut, or Safead, if you start. I think it's going to be Tsivrut, though. And that are now going to be found here by Bachek, and is going to be going down almost immediately. That was great play there from Bachek's Evelyn. He's going to be able to pick up another kill, makes him 5-0 to 1. That's quite a good score on Evelyn, you know? He's 30 CS behind, sure, but he's got so many kills that he's already got his Rabadons, his Haunting guys, and his enchanted boots of mobility. And you can see on the minimap how fast it is. Even in high heels, he can move that fast. Really well done. So now, right, they're going to be going for Krikishik, and Absolute Zero is there. Renlord going to be going in. He's going to get Squirrel, though. He's going to pick up the kill anyway. Mazan now getting the focus on him. But Jack comes in, gets the ultimate off on 3 people. Gerb goes very low, but so does Bachak, and Bachak has to retreat. He's not going to be able to chase that kill down. Sifrutin now might be in a bit of trouble as Manalax does have that wrap buff and the blood bow, but it looks like Manalax is just going to disengage, going to be pushing out the wave and then go back to base. Going to be using the bit of gold that they got there. This puts Eloblade at 7-8, so they're running back into it a bit, but then the tower goes down, so they're actually 1k behind, which again isn't a huge advantage. It's a respectable advantage. It was at 40 minutes. It's now, that's not that much. They're pretty close to even, so they should be. Either team should be able to win this game quite easily, and it's going to be the Iceborne Gauntlet built on Wait For It. So he's going to be using that to jump in and then slow in an area, which is pretty strong. It gives a lot of armor as well as mana and a bit of AP, which is always good on Malphite. Malphite's not going to whine about AP ever. And other than that, we have Age of the Legion on Smutaha, and we have the Infinity Magic built on Graves. So he's going to be hitting like a truck. He's got the crit cloak, the cloak of agility, which is interesting. Not going for that zeal first. like Madalax has done, who also has an Infinity Edge and that seal. Which is, it's kind of interesting that there's that difference between them. He probably just had money for the Cloak of Agility and not for the seal, so I guess that's why he bought it. I'm not sure if it's more gold or more slot efficient though than getting a dagger and a brawler's and a pair of brawler's gloves, but I haven't done the maths on it. Other than that, we've got Katarina, Ferelden building the Abyssal Scepter and a Giant's Belt. As the Sorceress does not have Home Guard. Interestingly enough, normally you see Home Guard on assassins such as Katarina, especially with the teleport, because you can teleport in and boom, they're there. It's like instantly. And interestingly enough, also no Home Guard on Wait For It, which I did expect, especially with the teleport. He can teleport in, Home Guard boots make him really fast, he can just run in and ult. But he's going to ult in right now, RNA is going to be the only one hit though, he turns on his ultimate, Shen ultimate comes down as well. They're going to be going for Wait For It. In the meantime, Absolute Zero tries to defend the tower. Premedeaha actually goes very low as Manoax attacks him. And Ferelden comes in from the side, but it's going to get knocked up immediately, which is a bit of the problem against the Lulu, but Shaq now goes very low, will be getting shut down by Madalax. The taunt comes down on two people, Ferelden comes in, is going to be able to pick up a kill, but he's going to give the kill to Madalax, but he's going to be going down himself. And Premedeaha is recalling in the brush, and he says deal with it, puts the sunglasses to Fruit, is now going to be running away, has that Oracles, he does not really want to lose that, even though it's not a limited time anymore, but he does go down. And that means that it's going to be an even bigger advantage for Eloblade right now. They killed 3 people in the enemy team, they lost 1, but that's not a pushing champion anyway. They already picked up that tower earlier, or Ferelden did, and that means they pick up 2 towers in the extended exchange of that. And that means that that was a great minute or 2. I think it was 2 or 3 minutes. So that was great play by them. It's going to actually put them in an advantage of 2k, which is pretty nice. And they went for the enemy blue buff, but it was warded. So when the enemy team came in, they were like, never mind. Let's just walk away. There's no unstoppable force up at this point. They probably know that, so they're going to be going for the dragon anyway. But it's going to come up in any second now, and that could be really problematic. Ferelden is here now as well. They're going to be able to pick up the dragon. Just Wait For It, going to be able to initiate. He's got the unstoppable force, but the Shreya comes out, and it looks like Eloblade is going to be able to retreat. And yes, they will. So that, they're going to be going back to base with a 3.7k advantage, which is a very respectable advantage. It's not like the enemy team can't come back from it, but it's still going to help your team quite a bit. And so if we're actually building another Oracles, has to clear those wards to give them some sort of map control, even if it's just vision. And the mid tower gets taken down as they double ward, or well, ward and Snowman. Snowman checking out that ward, going like that ward. But now Arana going to be moving in here, is going to go down so low so quickly, but Absolute Zero in the middle of them is going to do a decent amount of damage to slow them for a bit. But Shaq going to be going for Arana. I don't want to see this part of the fight. Thank you, Director's Camera, as we go to Ferelden, who's quite low. Was not able to assassinate anyone, didn't get the resets, and is probably going to be going down in the meantime. Premedeaha is going very low as well, but I can't quite see what's going on there. Curb is a 1v3ing. Is going to turn away towards the Baron, but he has the Sunfire, so he takes some aggro. He's going to be able to survive though. In the meantime, Manoax and Jure are pretty close to full health. Because, you know, Madalax is like, yo, I've got range, which is exactly why they picked the Caitlyn. In the end, it was 1-0 in favor of SP. So they got that kill on Aranaya, and that was all that happened in that fight, really. Which closes the gold gap a bit, but it's not a huge deal. But that's something that Eloblade really can't afford. They can't walk into brushes like that. Even if you're Aranaya, even if you have a Walmux in the Shurelias, you are quite healthy, you've got that ultimate, but you're still going to take damage if you face check a brush without your ultimate already on. So that's something to take notice of, but they're going to probably do that. And Manoax at this point has been back to base, but hasn't bought any new items. And there we go, he goes back to base again, and now he has a Phantom Lancer and a pickaxe. Actually, he hasn't gone back to base, I guess. He probably walked it up, just looked like he went back to base. Anyway, so that's going to put him at quite a bit of a damage advantage compared to Mr. Graves, because Mr. Graves doesn't even have a Phantom Dancer, only has the Infinity Edge to seal and a Crit Cloak with an R. And on the other side, Malax has that Phantom Dancer finished up, has the Infinity Edge as well, and has a pickaxe as well. So that's gonna give him a bit more damage. He's probably gonna be going for Last Whisper next because of that Runic Bulwark being up, as well as the load of armor that Wait For It has. Wait For It is gonna be jumping in towards him, so he kind of needs to be able to do damage on him because that's what an AD carry does. So right now, Wait For It and Curb gonna be chilling out in this bot lane. Wait For It gonna be returning damage now. But Shaq is coming in, and that's probably why Curb goes away. He saw the attitude change in Wait For It, where Wait For It suddenly went for him. And then at that point, the alarm bell rings. He knows that something's going on. There comes the Unstoppable Force as well as the other element from Butch Shaq. They're going to be going for Curb, but Curb is so healthy. This was a really bad call, I think, as Forelord comes in and picks up the kill immediately. Now, but Shaq could be in a whole lot of trouble. He's going to move into towards the enemy base, but there comes the E from Metalax. I did not know you could jump over that wall. But Shaq is dead. So that's going to be another kill. Full Metalax. He's going to be on a rampage. In the meantime, SP started the Baron, but they're not going to be quite able to do that with the three of them. That's going to be 2 pickups. I'm not sure why they wasted both their ultimates on Curb. That was really strange. I mean, Curb has a Sunfire Cape, he has a Warmogs. You're not going to kill him. Like, okay, maybe you will kill him, but you're going to need a lot of people for that, or you're going to need sustained damage. You can't burst him down. You can't use your Malphite ultimate and your Evelyn ultimate on that. I'm really confused as to why they did that. In the meantime, there's going to be some wood clearing going on around this Baron. We can't see the health of Baron, sort of, as they go for Mataha. Mataha goes very, very low. Forelord chases him away. So that's probably not going to be a smite steal. Teleport comes in though, because Wait For It is coming in. He doesn't have his ultimate though, so he's not going to be able to do that much. And that Baron is going to easily be picked up. Wait For It is going to try to get over the wall, but he doesn't have flash up or his unstoppable force, so that's not going to happen. And Krishak comes in, gets a kill, but goes down almost immediately, thanks to Forelord jumping after him. And now Curb is going to flash down in towards Mataha, gets him a bit lower, so that Manlax can pick up the kill. Great play coming out from Eloblade, and now they're going to be able to push this through. They have that Baron buff, they're going to regen like mad, and they're going to probably be going for an inhibitor turret. It's 20 seconds for the AD carry to come back, but oh, Madalax is getting caught by the Evelyn, and alone he can't really do much against that. He does get shut down now, but Forelord might be able to pick this kill up. He's a bit slower than Evelyn though, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it. He's going to jump towards the ward, and he gets him very low. He will be able to pick him up. Gets that double buff back into his team, and that gives him 40 seconds to push. The problem is their AD carry is down, so they can't actually push. That was very much worth it for Vichak. He got the shutdown, he was a normal kill, and he made sure the enemy AD carry wasn't up so that they couldn't push. If Madalax would have been able to help his team pushing, that could have been devastating for SP. They could have lost an inhibitor, or at least an inhibitor tower, and that's a really, really big deal. Right now, Eloblade going to be moving towards the bottom lane. There's a huge wave there that wants to push that out, but they have no AD carry, they have no AP carry. This could be a really bad call, actually, because the Unstoppable Force from Wait For It is up as well. Zah's going to be jumping towards Cope, but Cope is going to be turning away. Right now, Aranaya could be in a bit of trouble. He is very healthy though, so he should be okay. He has his ultimate up. Yeah, I'd be surprised if he got caught. So right now, Dragon Attempt is probably going to be made by Team SP. Well, of which I can still not pronounce their name, but hey, that works. And yeah, so right now we've got 70 viewers. I love all of you guys, and tell people about this qualifier because it's not high profile, and there's probably going to be really good games coming up after this one as well. So tell everyone, tell your mom, your dad, your friends, your family, your frog, everyone. So right now we're going to be seeing Eloblade moving into the mid lane. The last Whisper is up on Madalax, and he's got a giant spot, so he's going to be going for something tanky, which is interesting. Guardian Angel did get nerfed quite a bit, not as strong of an item as it was, so it wouldn't be surprising if AD carries don't go full glass cannon anymore. Locket of the Iron Solari gets used for some reason, not sure why Jury did that actually. There was no one coming on or anything, but you know, maybe he felt like the enemy team would be going in, or maybe he was dared or double dared. On the enemy team, we've also got the Legendary Stormwood now complete on Machak. He's going to be doing quite a bit of damage with that on the Revenants. He's got a blasting one and an amplifying tome. That yells Rylai's to me, so that's probably what he's going to be going for next. Other than that, we've got Lord, has the Abyssal, has the Revenants, has a needlessly large run and a Giant Belt, so he's probably going to be going for, I guess, a Rylai's and a Zonias, which don't complement each other that much. Actually, probably a Deathfire Grasp, as Curb gets aggressive on Ghost. A bit low, you know, compared to how much tankiness he has. But the teleport comes in from Lord, and this could be really bad for Wait For It because Lord does damage to him, which is surprising because it's a rock. But he takes a lot of damage there, even with all the health he's got. But he mostly built armor, so it kind of makes sense. Aranaga now going to be tanking that tower. He has the wall moves, and he has the Soraya, so he doesn't really care that much about tower damage. He's going to retreat in the end up, but see Fruit going so low. The slow is not going to hit out. In the meantime, Smutaha gets the aggression on him. Melek's going to be running away, but is going to be okay. In the meantime, bot tower does get taken down. They're now going to be going for the enemy inhibitor tower. Not going to be able to do anything there. The problem for Eloblade right now is that while they're the stronger team at the moment, I mean they're 7k ahead. They're definitely the stronger team at the moment. They can't really push that hard because the enemy team SP is actually defending quite well. They're diverting their attention. They're making sure that every lane gets pushed back, and they're doing that quite well. But they did lose that bot inner turret. It puts the towers to 6-3, which means all the inhibitor towers are open. All the inhibitor towers could be pushed. That means that at this point, SP cannot afford to get aced. The only moment they can afford to get aced is if they kill the entire enemy team as well. Only a double ace is a good ace on their side, because if they get aced, they're gonna lose at least one inhibitor, and maybe the game will even get finished. It means 35 minutes into the game, there are decently long death timers. That's a hard word to remember, and it's gonna be interesting to see what happens there. In the meantime, Fruit did pick up an Age of the Legion, so on him and on Smutaha, that's the area of effect buff. The aura is gonna stack, but only on the two of them, unfortunately. Otherwise, it'd be ridiculously overpowered. Actually, I'm not sure. That might be bugged. It used to be bugged. I'm not sure if it's bugged again. Well, I'm pretty sure that it's not bugged. It's probably not bugged. But hey. So, other than that, we've got 4 enchantments on Mr. Premedeaha, so every time he attacks something, he's going to get a bit of movement speed. Which is nice and looks pretty cool. And other than that, we've got the Zonia's built on Lord, so he's going to be able to jump in and then not take damage. Which is really nice for him, because he's been having the problem where he dies every team fight. Which is why he's got 4 deaths. It's not because he's a blocker feeder noob. He's just, you know, jumping into the enemy team, didn't have Zonia, so he just got bursted down. Which is not a bad thing actually, because he still did most of his damage. And if the enemy team kills you and uses everything on you to kill you, but you still did most of your damage, you did a pretty good job, because the rest of your team is going to be able to clean up. Even though Katarina is the cleanup champion, it's still pretty decent. And wow, Premedeaha shooting over the wall and just destroying the enemy AD carry. So much damage with those few shots he did there. And right now, he is actually not ahead in damage anymore against the Graves, except for the fact that, you know, he has Blood Bow. But in items, he's only ahead in tankiness. He's not that much ahead in damage, item-wise. Actually, he's a bit behind because Graves still has a Doran's Blade, and Premedeaha doesn't. So, you know, that's like 10 AD. Pretty significant, man. So, but Check going to be going for Aranai. Aranai is going to be using his ultimate. Going to try to get out of there. Forello is going to be coming in for the cleanup. He's going to jump into the enemy carries, but he's going to get squirreled almost immediately. In the meantime, Unstoppable Fools in the enemy team is going to make sure they can't do anything. Curb ulted in, but it was in the middle of the enemy team. Is going to be going down very quickly. Direct the camera, please. Thank you. Premedeaha goes very, very low. Smutaha is chasing him. Is not going to be able to do that. Jareed now gets squirreled. Is going to get a lot of aggro on him. Aranaya went back down in the background. Triple kill comes out for Bachak, and that's going to be a 4-0 trade in favor of SP. SP played that excellently. They caught out Aranaya, and wait for it, just jumped into the enemy team. Smutaha jumps after him, and there was nothing they could do. there was just 3 or 4 people focusing down for Endlord, and then focusing down Kerb. That was 2 people down, and in the meantime, wait for it. Just stopped 3 people from doing anything. That was really, really well played there. Especially by wait for it just zoning out the enemy team. Went very low but survived, so that's excellent as well. And this could be a Baron for SP. Looks like they will be able to pick that up. Red team does slay Baron Nashor. That's going to give them quite a bit of an advantage. Closes the gold gap a bit as well. Now 16 to 16 in kills. They're still 3 towers behind, but they've got a Baron, which means that they should be able to push quite well. So that was a very important fight for SP. If SP wins this game, it's probably going to be all based on that fight, because that was really well played, and that gave them the comeback they might be able to build out from. Dragon is going to get picked up though by Eloblade. They're going to be able to pick it up pretty much uncontested. There's not much that SP can do against that at this point. Going to be able to pick that up, and that means that they're going to be widening the gold gap again. It was about 3k, now it's 4k again, but it's still not as bad as the 7k they were at first, or good for them, I guess. In the meantime, there have been some items that are getting picked up, so let's just take a look at that. Runic Bulwark did get finished on Sea Fruit, so there's going to be a lot of magic resist on him, and wait for it, and you know, on the rest of the team as well. And actually, this was really smart. What you saw last fight was that Smutaha and wait for it jumps in the enemy team, and the rest of the team stayed back. So what they do is wait for it jumps in with Runic Bulwark, everyone that's around him gets hit, and then Lulu stays back, everyone around him gets hit, and they have a huge aura in which everyone gets the buff, which is health regen, armor, and magic resist. And especially the magic resist is really important. It's plus 30 magic resist, which is completely ridiculous. Like 30 magic resist is pretty much what most magic resist items give at this point. The Negatron items give like 45, I think. So it's not that much. And actually the Unstoppable Force comes in and towards Madlax of Renlord. Renlord goes down almost immediately. The ultimate came down on Madlax. In the meantime, Bachek goes down. Now Smutaha's going to be jumping towards Madlax. Madlax tries to run away. Does pop the Guardian Angel, but in the meantime, Krikichak doing a lot of damage. Gets the quadra kill. Ridiculous amounts of damage coming out from him. I don't know what his name is. I'm gonna go on Cricky. Cricky, that's his name, Cricky. So Cricky got a quadra kill there. Great play by him. They're now going to be picking up a tower, going to be going for another tower. They might be able to pick up an inhibitor tower. That's a huge deal. They might even be able to pick an inhibitor. Actually, they will for sure, because it's 30 seconds before the first person respawns. For Renlord was a bit too late with that Zonyas. He got jumped on, and he just Zonya'd way too late. He was almost dead when he Zonya'd. And then as soon as he came back, he got blown up. And that was kind of badly played by Renlord. They're now going to be going for that other Nexus Tower there, picking up 2 Nexus Towers. They might be able to finish this. RNI going to be going down as well. And they pick up the first game. So SP going to be picking up the first game. We're going to be going into the next game fairly soon. It is a best of 3. So that was great play from SP there. Yeah. So they just had 2 great fights right after each other, which was well done. And I'm just going to turn on their music. Which was really well done by them. As you can see, Madlax was beasting it. He was doing really, really well. But at some point, Grace caught up, which I noticed. I saw like at some point they caught up, and that was a bit of a problem. I think the problem really for Eloblade was that even though they were doing really well, they weren't aggressive enough, and they didn't push their advantage enough. I think that was a bit of the problem for them, and yeah, I mean, it hurt them in the end. I'm gonna just quickly change scenes. So we're gonna be waiting for the next game to start up, and it's gonna be 1-0 for in favor of SP. We're gonna be back in just a few minutes. We're gonna have to wait for everyone to get invited and all that. Obviously, I'm re-streaming the Riot stream, so I don't actually control what's going on. And we'll be back with you guys in just a few minutes. I hope you stay tuned.
Welcome, summoners, to the sands. Come on a journey with us and experience a tale of two brothers. This is for Venia Vis and Phi Tau.
I'm a librarian, bitch. It's sexy and I know it. I don't need no regal top, I still LMFAO it. Got a siphon on my strike, and I ain't afraid to show it. When I ult, it's like a hipster's mustache. I'm not afraid to grow it. I'm a godlike being from another plane. You should all be grateful that I even took the time to deign to come down here and whoop your ass. The curator gonna learn you some. I'm only here for 2 reasons, and I'm all out of bubble gum. Don't think that you can beat me, but there's one thing that you shouldn't do is let me sit top for 45 minutes and farm up my Q 500 more CS than your whole team combined. Your Nexus is the only thing that'll blow up faster than your mind. I chase you down relentlessly, run through your towers to eschew me, stack exhaust on top of Wither. You might as well be running to me. I could tank your fountain turret. It's easy once you accept that you're caught. Your dragons, your towers, your carriers, your baron, your everything's getting one
Cause when
shot.
the beat drops, everybody throw up their hands. Too bad in team select that your captain wasted all the bands. Your heart stops, and the audience stands. It's the curator and the butcher, we be repping the sands. Cause when the beat drops, everybody throw up their hands. Too bad in team select that your captain wasted all the bands. Your heart stops, and the audience stands. It's the curator and the butcher, we be repping the sands.
Coming in hot like some 5-star curry. I'm like clinical anxiety, you can't help but worry. These minions are your peers, now it's a trial by jury. This ain't a top lane pop fest, it's denial by fury. I'm a bouncer by trade and a butcher by reputation. Too many bitches in this lane, I'm solving overpopulation. And I hope that you'll remember each and every laceration. You can't pay rent on that tower, I'll perform a sequestration. I'm a crocodile hunter, a predator so ruthless. Stevie Irwin was my boy, I got his blessing to do this. My word is law, I'll tell you exactly what the truth is. Bust your chops through the net, a redditor so toothless. EWQE, then I throw up the deuce. You don't have any gold? Too bad Dorns doesn't make a noose. You can't take the abuse, I refuse to call a truce. Sit your ass down when you're in my house, boy. Call me John.
When the beat drops, everybody throw up their hands. Too bad in team select that your captain wasted all the bands. Your heart stops, and the audience stands. It's the curator and the butcher, we be repping the sands. Cause when the beat drops, everybody throw up their hands. Too bad in team select that your captain wasted all the bands. Your heart stops, and the audience stands. It's the curator and the butcher, we be repping the sands.
Repping the sands. Repping the sands.
I am done, I am through, I am just sick of it all. I am tired of the feeders in my stupid game of LOL. Uninstall right away with your 0154. You're the reason why I never want to play this anymore. I thought I'd play one before I sleep. 3 people and still locking fine by me. I picked a jungle, now we need a tank. Why'd you pick Nidalee? Why are you fighting over mid again? One of you come with me to bottom lane. Why is it always like this every game? So now I'm done trying to raise my elo is in vain. Why on earth would you engage in 3v1? Why'd you waste your tibbers when you don't even have stun? I hate this game, I really truly do. Well, I know one way to end this all. Just stop playing, oh, just uninstall. I am done, I am through, I am just sick of it all. If you wanted to tank damage, why the hell'd you pick Kog'Maw? I am done, I am through, I'm reporting all of you. I hope Riot bans my feeding team and fixes solo queue. I am done, I am through, Q, 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 Q. Every time I try to play, I'm stuck with bats like you. I am done, I am through, I'll play Han or Dota 2.